Tonight, I pick up a rock, Sam sets fire to a guitar, and I do some headbanging.
Hey folks, welcome to Crimson Guitars and to today's video. It's a bit of a controversial topic in this one, but we hope you'll enjoy it anyway. Now before we start, I just want to mention that both the guitars you're going to see in this video are currently available on dailyguitardraw.com, not as individuals but as a set. It's the first time we've done this and they are both fantastic guitars, so I highly advise you head on over to dailyguitardraw.com and pick up some tickets for them while you still can. Enjoy the video. This is a Fender Custom Shop 50s Strat in blonde.
And this is a made in Mexico telly.
We're going to make that look like this. How hard can it be?
First thing we're going to do is take the strings off with speed and power. Woo! Too much power. Not too much power. These tuners already look a little bit worn anyway. Someone had manky sweat.
I think you can get rid of a tag now, you know.
Yes. Okay. Strings are off.
Snip, snip, snip.
Here we go. We're taking the neck off, and Sam's going to work on the neck, and I'm going to work on the body. Unscrewing at the same time.
Yes.
So you've already reliced it, look, there's lacquer chipped
I know, yeah. But it's been sprayed with nitro lacquer, which is really nice.
Which will make our job easier.
It certainly will, yeah. Relicing, relicing poly doesn't work.
It's just so much harder.
Because it is not meant to age.
No.
As you say, someone sweaty has played this before.
This has also helped us.
The tuners have just got that nice slight patination from the sweat.
That's it. I mean, we can already hear the comments of people being like, just let the sweaty person play it for another 40 years.
I mean, you'd be lucky having another 40 years.
How dare you? No, I wouldn't be that old.
No.
All my grandparents lived longer than that.
You could be the exception.
I can't get this out.
Wait,
excuse me.
Come on, excuse me. That'll fall out. Are you saying this has actually got a tight neck pocket?
I know. It's a shocker for a Fender, isn't it?
That is incredible. Wow.
Wow.
Wow. But it's taken half the paint with it.
Some of the paint came off.
Wonderful.
Whoopsie.
Well,
that'll save us some time as well.
Yeah. So, essentially, we're going to, replicate, or try to replicate, the same kind of aging relicing on the Fender Custom Shop that we've got. Was the same colour, same era, so we thought, why not?
Why not?
This guitar has quite a lot of chrome hardware, and generally you see people go and dip like entire bits of chrome hardware in ferric chloride or ammonia or whatever kind of corrosive.
It never seems to work,
solution,
does it?
Chrome is designed to be a barrier to such things, so it never really. It does react to some extent, but it never really ages. And even on vintage guitars, you see that they're dirty and they might be scuffed up, but it doesn't really corrode. Whereas there are some parts on here, such as the screws and the saddles, that are nickel plated, and that does corrode, and it kind of dulls down. But again, this has been played, so it's kind of already got that
Do we want
level
to age it more? So the question is, do we do the checking or the dinging first? Because looking at these dings have checking coming from them, so it looks like they dinged it and then checked it.
I mean, it's weird, like when you think about actual vintage guitars and how they've aged over the years. Obviously it's happened over decades and decades and decades, not all at once. The checking doesn't just happen all of a sudden. It will kind of start from
a weak point, or
screw holes, pressure points where the neck joins the body, where the bridge is screwed in, it kind of starts there and will, you know, gradually move out. So it's tricky. We could potentially do, some wear.
Do a bit of both.
I mean, I think the wear it's actually worn through, we'll do after.
Yeah.
Because that, you know, is constantly wearing. But as you say, like a lot of these cracks are stemming from
the dings.
Which means we need to find our primary relicing tool.
We do.
We're not going to use a hammer. We're not going to use a screwdriver because that's silly. Because who goes around hitting guitars with hammers and screwdrivers?
Unless you played a show and fell over into a pile of screwdrivers or hammers, it's not going to happen, is it?
I've seen so many where you see like indents of a Phillips head screwdriver in the body. It's like no. That's just not going to happen.
Yeah.
So we're going to go a bit primitive here. We're going to become cavemen.
I'm going to use my degree.
Yes.
Yeah, finally.
Rock nerd. So
See you
let's
outside.
take a trip outside. We're looking for tone rocks, you know, very specific kind. Matt here has a degree in geology.
He does.
Can you hear the tone?
It's a pretty good tone on that
Pretty good tone. Nice resonance to that. I mean, that's a better size.
This is a better size one. It's got more angular.
Yeah. Oh, you hear the bass? Yeah, that's definitely got more bass than that one.
Shall we go for this one?
We'll take both. We'll take a smaller.
You want a smaller one?
Smaller one as well. Yeah, nice. Right, perfect.
Yes.
Fine tone rocks. We're going to be selling these on the website. £50 a piece.
Yeah. Yes, tone rocks.
This one's very special. It has quartz inclusions in it. Wow.
It's very important if you're doing a 50s, you know, relic shop. You need rocks from the 50s. So we're going to get these carbon dated.
They're definitely older than the 50s.
We've got our tone rocks.
We've got the tone rocks, and now comes the time where everyone hates us. In comments.
Yeah, it's inevitable.
It is inevitable.
So yeah, we're going to do the damage.
Gonna do some dings.
With all the hardware, the pick guard in place,
Because why would you have your guitar without it on and then
that's
drop
what
it?
happens. We are also going to do some, I guess, kind of burn through wear.
Yeah, it's just,
where it's
you know,
worn through.
If you think about where someone's played this for hundreds and millions of years now, like 20 years, they'll have rubbed here a lot, right? And it's just
and on the back
over
on the
time.
belt buckle, end of headstock. You always turn around and whack your guitar into someone or something.
Oh yeah, on stage you
happens
get
all
hit
the
in the
time.
face with headsticks all the time.
As with the custom shop reissue, we're going to do fretboard wear as well in the cowboy chord areas. And I'm going to strip the back of the neck as well. I'm also going to add a little cigarette burn in the headstock as well, because everyone smoked back in the 50s and 60s. It was good for you.
The doctor said it was good for you. How hard am I meant to hit it?
Well, it's nitro, so it does actually chip relatively easy.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with my big boy.
Okay. You go first. I want to watch your tone rock technique.
End of the headstock. You kind of, almost like you're napping flint, you know, so kind of skim it.
Oh, right, okay.
You know, just skim the edges.
How much? Just a tiny.
Just a tiny amount, yeah. Down here as well. See, get the gist?
I do get the gist, yeah.
There's obviously not going to be many dings. There'll probably be some scratches from strings on the front of the headstock, but that's relatively protected, as is the kind of back edge. It's more the exposed areas. And we're going to go back and rub the finish back as well with some high grit abrasive, and then buff it back up to get rid of a kind of really high gloss finish.
Sorry.
You can also kind of grind away at it, if
Oh, yeah?
that makes sense, like a cheese grater.
Beautiful.
But yeah, the trick is to do it slowly, don't just aimlessly chuck. Aimlessly chuck a rock at it.
Obviously everyone misses the jack.
Yes,
Occasionally,
this is
don't
true. This is true.
You know, you're on a dark stage, trying to get your jack in the hole, as they say.
I think that will just about do for the headstock. The rest of the neck is really just wear. It's not very apparent at this point, but once we knock it back and go over it with some aging compound, you'll really notice a bit more the edge. Just right on the edges where it's likely to wear through. I am now just going to ever so slightly singe the very kind of top corner of the headstock, because people have a tendency to leave cigarettes on there. Fire! There we go. So I do know how far.
I dropped me rock!
So it starts about the first fret and kind of fades out about 12. So we'll base it off that. Sacrilege. So satisfying though. Oh. That's a noise.
So why a scraper instead of a sander, Sam?
Just a bit easier.
A lot messier.
Yeah.
Making a mess of my bench.
Yeah, I'll get Henry out in a minute.
Okay. Yeah, what am I doing next?
I think if you take, at this point, I'll probably take the hardware and big guard off.
Yeah.
Have you done some buckle rash on the back as well?
No. I need a buckle. I'd like a buckle to do the
Would
buckle
you?
rash. I'm going to go walk around the building, see who's got a belt. Do it. I'll be back. An authentic Tom Webster
Oh yeah.
buckle for the buckley rash. You've got to think about how this would just
For
like,
pelvic movements.
yeah, just rub up and down, wouldn't it? Is there much buckle rash on this? There's a big stretch off the back. The back plate is sanded, but obviously there's no back plate on the
No.
The best scraper is the one you're using.
I'm done with it.
Well, fantastic. Then I shall use it. God, it is. Ruined it. You're ruining it.
Stupid sound. Fire covered in nitro.
That's where you want to be. Yes. Yes.
Put that somewhere for a minute. Oh.
This almost looks like they've sanded it.
Probably have, I imagine.
It just looks like some
Yeah.
quick sanding.
No one knows exactly what Fender Custom Shop do, but
these look like sandpaper marks.
yeah,
Do you not
belt
think?
sander.
I mean, it might be a bit quick, but be slower to do it by hand.
Yeah.
I mean, there's none of that on. The only bit of that on the front is that bit, isn't it?
Yeah.
Just this bit.
I mean, bear in mind, you probably. Oh yeah, you've done it on the back.
I've done it on the back.
Have you done it there as well?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Down
yeah.
by the jack.
Well, the jack I've done dings because you're not going to get wear by the jack. You're
True,
going to get
yeah.
people missing. Whereas here, I don't know what they're aiming for with this.
Also on the edge of the. Yeah.
I've done it. I've done it.
All right.
Done it.
All right. Go.
But yeah, I just don't know what their thinking is with this. Do you think it's just rubbing in the gig bag?
Maybe.
Rubbing in
rubbing
the case?
reacting with the case as well. I mean, nitro off gases.
Yeah,
For many
off-gases
years,
for
so-
many years.
Many years.
Yeah. So, shall I replicate this on this? Just a little bit of sanding?
Just a little bit? Just a tiny amount.
Just a tiny amount.
Go for it. Yeah.
Alright.
Go for it. I'm now going to go take this neck and just smooth out the area I've just sanded and do the transitions as well. I won't film that because it's going to be very dusty and very nasty, so I'm going to do it in a ventilated room.
Very sensible.
So yeah, we'll see you soon.
Bye-bye! Right, while Sam is sanding the neck, I am going to take all the hardware off this and make it less glossy. These screws are already kind of mank, which is nice. There's already cracks in the lacquer under here as well. Beautiful. And the bridge has pulled loads of lacquer off as well.
Right, so to do the fretboard wear, I'm going to use some little mini cabinet scrapers, which we conveniently sell on our website. I've drawn on some kind of rough guidelines of, well, wear patterns on the 50s Custom Shop. Just going to, go off that. And then I'll go and smooth it all out with abrasives and then polish it up. And the reason I'm doing this, rubbing it with sandpaper after scraping, is it just softens all of the edges, makes it look a lot more natural, like it's been worn through. And then I'm also just going to take some patches off the edges of the fretboard, you know, where your hand would be rubbing up against. And on the rest of the edges, where it's not so pronounced, I'm just going to take the very corner off, just so you can, you know, just takes that sharp edge off. By the way, I should add, if you want a really very comfortable daily guitar drawer hoodie like this one, albeit with an orange logo, go and check them out on the website, because we've now got merch. Hoodies, t-shirts, beanies, caps. What's not to like? So now
We're going to make it
we're gonna
check or
crackly,
crack.
crackly,
Yes.
crackly the lacquery.
So what we're going to do is we're going
Heat it up with a hot
to warm
table.
it up.
Warm it up, yeah. We're not.
We're not trying to peel the lacquer.
No.
We're trying to. You could probably use a hairdryer. It's probably better.
Yeah.
The hairdryer, but
And then we are going to use
rapidly cool it down.
canned air, just air duster. Yeah, it's very good for this. Don't personally like using the old stick it in a freezer method. Works fine for the body, but
It messes with the frets.
it messes with your frets.
Yep.
We
found
tried
out
it
the
before,
hard way.
Yes. So even though the whole freezer method is a bit more consistent and even,
Will you
I
be
find,
able to tell?
I find this
Probably
works
not.
better. Yeah.
All right then.
I find this works better.
Let's
Crack on.
Let's go.
Wow.
Heard that. So we are going to use this Nitalac relic patiner
Yeah.
stuff.
Stuff.
It contains benzisothiazole 3, 2H1.
Incredible.
Incredible.
Good
So
to know.
we are going to rub it on.
Yeah. We're really pleased with the checking
cracking
of this.
looks
It's gone
great.
very well.
Nice.
Wonderful.
And yeah, we're wearing gloves because apparently
It
this
stains.
goes everywhere and stains.
It's essentially like a
many
mix
things.
of paint and stain and It's almost like an oily grease paint, kind of.
Shall I do the body and you do the neck?
Yes.
Let
And
us-
I'm going to do the back of the neck with this as well. I've done it before. It buffs up really nicely, gives a really good worn-in feel.
And we're using a microfiber
We
cloth.
are using a microfiber.
It's just a tiny amount.
You'll need a fair,
Just what if
decent amount.
I do that?
And you can smear it on.
Smear it on. Here we go.
And you'll see immediately it just goes into all the cracks.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
There we
Oh, yes.
give your meat a good old And it will also go into the
wood itself.
Just give a nice dark finish. You can also use it on fingerboards if you've got, say, a Palfaro or something, laurel, that kind of fretboard, and you want it to look more like Brazilian rosewood. You can use this stuff, and it acts kind of like stain as well. Very useful stuff.
And
Wait for you to
do
do
we
that,
sell it on our website?
We don't currently actually.
Well, it's a
maybe.
Nitrolite product, so
We
can
have
get it.
started stocking Nitrolite products, so absolutely go and check them out on the website because they are fantastic.
Yes.
In our experience, they beat pretty much any other lacquer. And I think they supply Fender with their colours. So they
Yes.
do all the standard Fender and Gibson colours. Really, really good nitros as well.
Yeah, their nitros are the best I've used. They're fantastic.
Yeah.
These
Highly
damn
recommend.
wires getting in my
You love
way.
wiring, don't you?
Oh, so much.
And it's quite nice because it kind of builds up in little crevices and
Yeah.
cracks. Just highlights everything. I'm also going to wipe it over the nut and it will just darken that down a little bit as well. Oh no! He's lost the lid.
Not the lid.
But
Right,
it will
should
dry,
I?
so you want to wipe it off. fairly
Whilst it's still
regularly.
moist.
Yes.
Everyone loves that word.
Moist.
Stuff's like magic, old guitar stuff.
Yeah.
Certainly old.
The nice thing about this guitar is it has already been played, so the nickel finish on the tuners and the saddles is already kind of worn down a bit and just lost its sheen, which is nice. If that's not the case, you can use acids, ferric chloride solution, ammonia, fumigate it. It is not particularly nice to work with. And if at all possible, you want to disassemble the tuners, the individual parts first. Said acid will also damage the gears of a tuner, the threads of a screw. Whenever I'm reinstalling any hardware or installing it for the first time, I always like to use a bit of hot wax on the screw just to aid with getting it in and out. Beautiful.
Thanks, and what about the pick guard?
Thinks he's funny. Another little trick for when you're installing old screws that have already been screwed into wood. If you just place the screw into the hole and then rotate it counterclockwise, so as if you're loosening it, and you'll feel when it kind of drops into the thread, the already cut thread, so that way
You're
not mashing
the
up.
thread.
Yeah, exactly.
Threading the thread or ruining the
Ruining the
thread.
thread, yeah.
Tiny screwdriver isn't tiny enough. I
Oh.
need to go to my tiny
Your
screwdriver.
tiny screwdriver. That does have a tiny screwdriver. not doing that. I'll rub my wood with some nylon.
Yeah, I can't do that one.
Is it actually?
Yeah, have a go.
I'll get you.
See what I mean?
Yeah, that is.
What have they done?
Wow. There you go.
It's just the tiny screwdriver was too tiny. Well, what are we?
Ladies and gentlemen, Matt Dennison.
How dare you? We're using the same pattern
Yeah.
stuff. Dirty.
Dirty.
Filthy. Ladies and gentlemen, Sam Falloon cannot throw.
I'm now going to use another product which we have on our website. Monty's Guitars Instrument Food.
Swapped again.
Combination of waxes and oils. Very good for your fretboards and bare wood like this. Yeah. Nice. You've always got to kind of mimic where you'd usually clean a guitar, say, you know, when you're normally wiping a guitar down, where you can usually access with a microfiber is where you wipe off. So all the little areas right up against a pick guard that you can't normally get to. I think it works quite well. Don't you?
Lovely. Yes.
Right. Do you want to string it up?
Suppose I could do, can I?
Yeah.
Oh, it's got the Fender in the hole ones.
Yeah.
How do you measure them, Sam?
I generally do about, from said tuner, about two.
Two.
Yeah.
What?
That. Well, a bit less on the E and A because they're thicker strings. Not
Please do not tie your strings onto the posts.
Please don't.
Because
There's nothing more infuriating than their guitars coming in for a setup, only to find the strings have been tied on.
It's entirely unnecessary.
Especially on the high E and B, because they always slip and they always go about an inch into your hand.
Yep.
Not fun.
Yeah. Yeah, because the tension of the string pushes it against the other strings, and then the friction of those strings next to each other holds it in place. You don't need to tie it on. It's entirely unnecessary.
It is.
I could get my speed and power thing out here, couldn't I? Probably should. See, I normally like to go at least 3 up, if not 4 tuners up, and cut it there, and then that's enough.
Fair enough.
But obviously you can't do that on the high E and the B,
No,
because
well, you can
do it on the first 3, and then after that you can't really do it. Yeah, you can guesstimate. It kind of matters a little less with the thinner strings because you've got more, because it's thinner, so you can coil it more. Well,
wonderful.
oh, that almost sounds like it's an E already. What do we reckon?
What do we think?
Oh, a D sharp. Obviously my ears aren't perfect pitch. I'm always half a step down.
Well, there you have it, folks. 2 Fender guitars. Which one's which?
Well, this is that's a strap.
Yeah, other than that, which one's which? Yeah, we're pretty happy with how this has come out.
Yeah.
It's actually come out, yeah, really rather nicely.
Yeah.
Neck feels lovely because we've taken all the thick lacquer off it. Yeah. Yeah, interesting the kind of differences with the finish on the.
Yeah, that one's much thinner than this one.
Yeah, both nitro, but
yeah,
much thinner lacquer on this one, but it's still checked beautifully, and it's come up very, very nicely. Both of these guitars will, by the time you're watching this, be on Daily Guitar Draw.
It will.
As a pair.
As a pair.
As
You
a
can win
pair,
them
you
both
could
together.
Win. Head on over to dailyguitardraw.com and yeah, pick up some tickets for these two. They could be yours. I think that's about it from us.
Thank you for watching.
Back to the studio.
That'll do.
Bow, 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 bow.